You know what we need more of?
What's
Mel
that?
Gibson.
Goddamn right. I want Mel Gibson to make Braveheart 2.
Give me more Mel.
Yes.
Is he too old? What's he like now?
I think he's still a very fit, like 60-something-year-old guy. Yeah, he's like a TRT old guy, so he still looks good.
Braveheart 2 is an IRA movie.
Yes.
He's doing car bombs for the cause.
Yes.
Being eviscerated by the fucking king at the end. That'd be good. I'd watch it. Mel Gibson, his movies tend to be fucking good. Like, he does a pretty good job. Like, Apocalypto was sweet. Passion of the Christ was good.
Those are
what else does he have?
Does he need to start?
All right. So I love
from director point of view.
So I love from director point of view. I don't know what all he's directed, but as far as his
Hacksaw Ridge.
I tried to watch Lethal Weapon the other day, and I hate cops so fucking much now. I couldn't watch it. They're like pieces of shit cops. They're like always breaking the law and like roughing people up and like just scaring civilians for no reason. I hate those movies now, the Lethal Weapon movies, but I still love like the fucking Patriot is so good. It's long as shit, but I really love the Patriot.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I like a movie called Payback, which is actually Lucy Liu's like film debut. She's a dominatrix in that, super sexy, and Mel Gibson plays this character Porter who wants his money back. He's like betrayed by his partner. The partner took his money, paid it to some higher up mob guys, and he's holding everyone accountable for her. Like it's a small sum of money in the scheme of things. It's like $60,000, and this guy's like, my suits cost more than that you just destroyed. 60,000. They don't understand. That's a really good one. That's one of my favorites of his. That's like not one of those blockbusters he did.
There's one he did with Vince Vaughn, like Dragged Across Concrete or something like that, where they both play semi crooked cops, and that was pretty good. Didn't blow me away the way like the Patriot or Braveheart or Apocalypto did, but still solid.
Are you psyched for some new Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings movies?
I am hesitant to be excited at all because they have just shit on the Lord of the Rings franchise since the original trilogy. The Hobbit was a total bullshit bastardization. They ruined it. Did not like that one bit. They did that Amazon TV show where they just, apparently Tolkien's world isn't deep enough. They have to invent characters and plot lines. How about you just be true to the lore and give, because you know who like the biggest Lord of the Rings fans are? It's fucking idiots like me. That's who like wants to watch a Lord of the Rings show a lot. And so when you alienate retards like me by being like, oh, we're just going to invent new characters. Legolas is going to have a fucking girlfriend. It's like, no, none of this. There should be no women. No women
too fucking old. I don't want to see Orlando Bloom.
Galadriel should be in it if they're doing a prequel, but then they ruined Galadriel by making her a warrior queen. That's not where her source of power ever arose.
She's a bad bitch now.
She was a bad bitch, but not in a physical fighty way.
Now she's got armor and a sword.
She was smart. She was astute. She was like a strategist.
She told an orc to suck her dick.
She's gonna come back and do like Hot Girl Summer.
Not really. That'd be great though, right? That'd be like.
And Galadriel will always be Kate Blanchett to me. No one else can be Galadriel. She did such a good job.
That's an odd-looking woman who I find very attractive. Maybe it's just when she's Galadriel, though. I think I have a thing for the elf ears or something. That's what do you say? A mundane thing that makes women immediately attractive.
Elf ears. You see that all the time.
If they have lineage of the forest folk. I watched that new Kevin Costner movie, Horizon. The 3-hour fucking epic. It's on our Plex. It is hard to get through. I guess I probably took me 3 or 4 times going back to it to get all the way through it because I just kept getting annoyed. I think there are 4 stories, maybe 5. There might be 5 separate stories. You know, there's a wagon train, a wagon trail of there's that group of people. Luke Wilson is actually like the boss of that, and he's fine. Like all the acting was fine or whatever. And then Kevin Costner, he's on his own little journey. He's doing his thing. And there's a group of outlaw brothers, and there's several other little tales. There's some Indian hunters, and then there's some bad Indians that killed some people, and there's like a widow and her daughter at this army station. And I thought 3 hours was going to be long, but it wasn't nearly long enough. I know there's a part 2 to this thing, and there might even be a part 3. Part 2 comes out this fall, and I know they were hoping by releasing it to DVD or not DVD to streaming, that it would drive up some interest in the sequel, the continuation of this story. But I'm gonna tell you, there's so many different stories. It felt like I watched 3 episodes of Game of Thrones and like nothing happened. Like Kevin Costner's character, I think he gets like 3 scenes or something like that. And they skip forward so fast in time that I've never seen him have a conversation with another character, really. I don't know anything about him as a man. Like,
I have a theory about what happened. My theory is Kevin Costner's been on television for the last, 10 years, 8 years or something like that. And he had an idea that requires the time a TV show has to universe build. And he's trying to put that in movie format. So you take something like Yellowstone. What do they do? 10 hours a year, something like that? 15 hours, 18 hours a year. I don't know. And, but you can, TV nowadays can develop a huge universe like Game of Thrones did, where you learn all these people and all these different parts and you start studying maps to understand how they're moving. Mm-hmm. But a 90-minute movie can't do that. It's basically just a long episode.
I don't know if there was some production issue like that where maybe he wanted a TV deal. I know he spent like 20
TV better. It's my theory.
I know he spent like 25-30 million of his own money on this project, and so it tanking is a problem for him I'm not like he's going to go to the poorhouse or anything, but that was his money that's going down the drain, and it just felt like it would have been an okay TV show, I guess. But even what they had, I felt like it reminded me a little bit of how I hated Dune 2, how it felt like there were big chunks of the movie missing and information wasn't being given to me, and I was never interested in any of the characters or cared about them because it's like, oh yeah, I remember you from 50 minutes ago when you had 3 minutes of screen time. You seemed nice. Oh, I know that actor. Oh, come back. Don't walk off the screen. No, come back. Oh, we're going to go look at the Indians for a while and read captions. Okay. It wasn't compelling. It wasn't interesting. I didn't care. I just didn't like it. And the worst part, this is like insult to injury. At the end, they show like a 5-minute action montage of things to come in the next movie. And it felt like it smelt of desperation. It felt like they got to the end. They're like, hey, people are kind of complaining that there was only like a couple of good action scenes. Show them what's to come. And there's like a scene where Kevin Costner kicks a guy and the guy bounces off a wall. And when he does, Kevin punches him, decks him. And then it's like Kevin riding a horse and shooting a rifle, and then it's some guys on a wagon shooting, and then it's Indians shooting, and it's like they made a 5-minute shoot 'em up montage, and they're acting like that's the next movie, and I don't believe them. Believe them. I think we just saw all the action in the next movie. That's also 3 fucking hours.
You mentioned he's not in the poorhouse. You take 25 million from a man who just got divorced, and he's in a different financial situation than he was 2 years ago.
Maybe
that's true.
He's always made these types of movies though. It'll eventually make its money back. Maybe I don't fucking know. I don't know what the streaming numbers are going to be. You just wouldn't. 3 hours is you got to make a really good movie if it's going to be 3 hours. It's got a
or a half-assed podcast.
Or, something like that. But he made The Postman and Waterworld and stuff like that, and those are those big long 3 hour. It's clear to me. I say it's clear. I suspect that he's still trying to recapture that magic from Dances with Wolves. He won the Oscar for that, or the movie won the Oscar for that, I think, for Best Picture. It's an incredible movie, and it's kind of in the same exact time period as this movie he just made. It's right at the end of the Civil War and the years that follow. Actually, I think this show might be a little earlier in the war, but that's what Dances with Wolves was. It begins with him at the end of the Civil War, and then he goes out west and takes on that army base or whatever. You ever seen that, Taylor? Dances with Wolves?
No.
I cry every time I watch it. I've only seen it twice.
It's like a classic movie. Yeah, I'm not a movie guy, but that's one I've seen. It is really good. It's The Last Samurai is basically just that movie, but Japan.
I've seen The Last Samurai.
Yeah, White Savior. I love it. Last Samurai is so absurd. Why is Tom Cruise the Last Samurai? Like, they didn't have any like at least get Keanu Reeves in there. He's half Japanese, I think. Like
wait, was he? I didn't think in that movie that Tom Cruise was The Last Samurai. Like it was
He's
about
not.
him.
Well, it's about the end of the samurai, right?
Yeah.
Because you have the transition and the kingdom has the guns now. But at the end, there he is with the samurai wearing all that fucking samurai armor with the fucking sword and everything. Why is it a white guy that had to come and save the samurai?
Because it wouldn't be a fish out of water tale if it was a Japanese guy.
Made it a Korean, then it'd be real fish out of water. They'd have burned him on the first day.
Yeah, they wouldn't have cared for that.
No.
They're like, oh, he white. It's okay. He at least not Korean.
Have you seen Remember the Titans? I know you've missed so many. Oh yeah.
I've seen that. That's a great movie. I like
that. That's where integration works. You know, you got a little sugar and a little spice, right? Made that great football team. It's glad there was only one quarterback. I'm glad there wasn't a black kid who could throw the ball, right?
There was. He got hurt.
Oh,
he broke
did he?
His wrist. Yeah, he was the starter. Sunshine was the backup.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. Woody's right.
I haven't seen it since high school.
Wait.
I just remember the kid from.
There was a white guy on the line who let the other team's defensive back go by on purpose, pretending he didn't hear the audible. The guy runs around, slams the black quarterback into the ground, breaks his wrist. He's done throwing the ball for the season. Sunshine comes in, says, "What's wrong with you, wimps? You've never seen a football injury before?" Tells his player to let the defensive lineman go by. He does. When he goes at Sunshine, he low bridges him, puts him up in the air, dumps him onto the ground. Bad guy's walking out injured, and then other teammates go after him, and he stiff arms him in the face and says, "Let's play ball." Then the
what song starts playing?
We Are the Champions.
Dun, 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 dun.
I can like hear the beat in my head. Coaches are like, "Looks like we got ourselves a quarterback."
Oh, Jock Jams. Yeah.
That song starts playing. Yeah.
Yeah, but that is on Jock Jams.
I haven't seen it since high school, but that is a good movie. It sucks that that guy gets crippled there in that car accident. It's so, if you go back and watch it now, you probably laugh, because if I remember correctly, he's like happy-go-lucky white guy in his like sick-ass car, and he's like smiling and waving at some pretty girls or something, and then like out of nowhere, like a car comes and T-bones him and just cripples him, just takes his legs right out from under him.
Yeah, it was such a downer. They were so happy from the win.